Okay, 2012 AMC. This was problem 16 from the AMC12A. And it says circle C1 has its center at O, lying on circle C2. The two circles meet at X and Y. Point Z in the exterior of C1 is on circle C2. XZ equals 13, OZ equals 11, YZ equals 7. What is the radius of circle C1? Okay, now I'm going to draw these out, and in order for this to work out, I'm going to have circle C2 be larger. So C2 than C1. So in here, the center of C1, which is O, is on C2. That is an awful circle, but whatever. We'll get the idea. It's not drawn to scale. This one's not even closed. All right, so now we have two circles meet at point X and point Y. And I look at this and let's see, YZ is the shortest, OZ is the next shortest, XZ is the longest, so I'm going to put Z over here. So let's do that. So put Z out here. It doesn't actually matter for the problem, but it looks better. It'll help us if we get drawn somewhat to scale. And I'm going to connect these up. Okay. And I know that I have, let's see, 7, 11, and 13. And here is the idea. I'm looking for this length, which I'm going to call R, which is the same here. And I know something really nice, and that is that these two angles are congruent. Reason being, they're subtended by chords on the same circle, so they are inscribed angles, where the arcs then will be congruent at their ends, and so these angles must be congruent. And so if I actually use a little bit of law of cosines to solve this, so I know that, let's see, R squared is equal to 7 squared plus 11 squared plus, minus 2 times 7 times 11 times the cosine of, and I have a theta. I shouldn't point at the screen, that doesn't help you. Okay, and this other one, R squared equals 11 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 11 times 13 times the cosine of theta. And what I'm going to do is I'll actually solve both of these for cosine of theta and then set them equal to each other, because that will get rid of the cosine thetas. And it will leave me with an R, and I can find that R. So let's do that. So this first equation, when I solve it for cosine theta, well, I'll still have an R squared. 7 squared is 49, 11 squared is 121, and if I'm not mistaken, that should give me 170. Let's see, 49 plus 120, yes. And I'll subtract that from R squared, so minus 170 divided by negative 2 times 7 times 11, so that's going to be 77 times 2, which is 154. That will equal cosine of theta. And this one down here, I will get 11 squared, which is 121. 13 squared is 169, so that's going to give me, that should give me, let's see, 121, 169 should give me 300. Am I way off with that? Let me double check. Sorry, 290. So I'll have an r squared minus 290 over negative 2 times 11 times 13. Well, 13 times 11 gives me 143 times negative 2 gives me negative 286. Okay. And actually, I'm looking at this, I could have done something much smarter. I won't, though. So let's go through this. So this means that if they're both equal to cosine of theta, then I know that r squared minus 170 over negative 154 is equal to r squared minus 290 over negative 286. And first thing, I know that negative 154 and negative 286 are both divisible by 22, or negative 22, because I have a negative 2 and 11 in there. So let's get rid of that, multiply both sides by negative 22. So negative 22 goes into 154 7 times, so I get r squared minus 170 over 7. Negative 22 goes into negative 286 13 times. I know that from right here. So r squared minus 290 over 13. And I'm running out of room terribly, so I'm going to do some really bad stuff. I'm going to bring this all the way up here so I have a little bit of room. I'm going to cross multiply both sides by 7, multiply both sides by 13. I get 13 r squared. 170 times 13 gives me, let's do that, 1,300. So I'll do it over here. 170 times 13. So we get 0, 1, 2, 5, and then we get 0, 0, 1, 7. So we get 2210. So minus 2210 is equal to, multiply both of these by 7, 7r squared minus, and let me do that work. Let me give myself a little bit more space. So 290 multiplied by 7, so that should give me 0, 3, 6. Let's double check on that. So that's going to give me 14, 2030, 2030. And that is right there. Okay. And now we're going to get everything to one side, so I'm going to move the r squareds over here to keep things positive. 13r squared minus 7r squared is 6r squared. Move the 2210 over here, so add it to both sides, and the difference between that and that is going to give me a positive 180. Divide by 6, r squared equals 30. And then take the square root of both sides. R is the square root of 30. So a lot of garbage, law of cosine, some other stuff here, but answer is E.